Art People.
The podcast where we look at art from different perspectives.
We're talking to artists, galleries, and collectors.
With the aim of making art more accessible.
I'm Ohi.
I'm Ohai. Let's get into it. Today on the podcast, we have Richard. Hello, Richard.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for being here.
No, of course, man.
I struggle with telling them who you are, because you do so many things. So just give a brief intro on yourself, please.
Yeah, my name is Richard Vedelago. I'm the founder and lead curator at Windsor Gallery and at NAHOUSe at the Federal Palace.
Lovely. Have you always been into art or where did that? But jumping right into it. So
yeah, of course, man. We're here for it, huh?
Yeah. Have you always been into art or how did that journey start?
Well, I'd probably say no. Never really been into art. I mean, I got an F in art in school, so it probably wasn't in my future when you look back at the journey, right?
Yeah.
But no, it's been. I think I've always been in close proximity to art.
Okay.
I've always been in and around it. So whether or not it had always been intentional to look at the art space. I'd probably say it's only been in the last couple of years that I really looked at how to really immerse myself into the artistic landscape. So yeah, it's been a really cool journey. Discovery, understanding, and being able to have different points of view and different perspectives.
But did you start collecting? What got you?
The journey
what sparked that?
I think collecting is buying art and collecting are two different things.
Yeah,
I think so. What do you mean?
I think the idea of you might see something you like, so you buy it. Mm-hmm. I think when you start collecting, there's an intentionality that comes with it, right?
So what side do you think you sit on?
I think I now collect.
Okay.
I think I now collect because I do the research on the artists that I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I work with the artists that I exhibit at the galleries, and if I like work that connects to me, then I'll buy it because I know that I'm building a collection.
Are you doing that yourself, or do you have a team? Are you very?
I'm very hands-on, and so I kind of look at the pieces. I think again, collecting. Just like anything in life, right? You kind of collect watches. You kind of has to reflect your identity, right? So I think that's where I've always sort of taken it upon myself to build my collection. Things that I'm interested in, conversations that I'm interested in, points of view from an artistic point of view that I'm interested in. So that's how I've kind of been intentional about building collections.
Do you remember the first piece you ever bought and why you bought it?
I think it was a photography piece.
Okay.
It was a piece from an American photographer based in LA called Gavin Bond.
Okay.
And I think I've always been interested in photography. I think it's a really beautiful medium. I think now, of course, with everyone having a smartphone, it's becoming a bit more because everyone thinks that they're Mario Testino, right?
Yeah.
But I think photography is such a beautiful sort of medium. It captures the moment in its entirety in the best form that I think even more so than memory. So yeah, it was a piece by this photographer called Gavin Bond, and it was a photo of Giselle Bundchen behind stage at the Victoria's Secret show, and it was something that I just really liked. It just felt really sort of regal, beautiful, and just quite pop as well. It was just really beautiful, bright colors.
So how do you go from that to now realizing that there's a business side of it to actually open a gallery?
Well, I think being in Nigeria in 20 years, if you don't know how to diversify and pivot into other sort of spaces. But I think the thing that living in the Ivory Coast and spending more time going to sort of more art gallery openings, there's a closer artistic community there because, of course, population-wise, Abidjan is literally a third of the city of what Lagos is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of go to more art exhibitions, you kind of are surrounded a little bit more by culture. Even all the homes in the Ivory Coast tend to have a lot of art already in them, but again, intentional aspects. So going to art galleries and kind of thinking that, wow, there isn't a conversation. I mean, Lagos, I don't know any art galleries in Cotonou. I don't know any art galleries in Accra. I don't know any art galleries in Abidjan.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of think to myself, okay, well, there's an opportunity here to create a sort of open border conversation in regards to how do we build a comprehensive art market on the continent? How do we have a gallery with multiple positions, multiple cities, multiple sort of market entrenchments to be able to actually allow artists to want to stay on the continent and to... Can you imagine if you're a French Ivorian artist and you don't speak a word of English? It's going to be really complicated and scary for you to want to come and do work in Nigeria.
Of course.
Where do you even start? And so Windsor was kind of built to respond to that reality. How do we keep artists on the continent? How do we get people to be able to do multiple shows in multiple cities in Africa? A show in Lagos, Abidjan, Dakar, Cape Town, Nairobi. These are all sort of key areas that we're looking to build out so that we can keep building the narrative on the continent. If we keep artists on the continent, it means that everybody has to come to us. We don't have to go to them anymore. And I think that's one of the key things also that was really interesting for me is like, why do I have to travel to see a Nigerian artist that lives 100 meters from me? I have to take plane to go to New York because we don't have any infrastructure in Africa.
It works, yeah.
So, it's about shifting the perception and tilting the works are made on the continent. So come and see them on the continent.
Yeah.
So like when you're looking at artists, right? Like discovering artists, are you looking more at like the emotional side of things, or are you looking more at the business side of things when you're picking the artists that would like come into?
Well, I mean, it's like because art, there's no defined value associated to it. I mean, there is sort of.
Can you expand on that, like that?
The value derivative. I mean, like, the idea here is that because of like, so the way an artist's sort of value works is like, the more they show, the more they sell. They're based on the sort of the last sale price. And so, of course, it's about sort of visibility. It's about engagement. But just like anything that's in a marketplace, the value is it goes up and down. Supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
So today, if there's no demand, your pricing is going to come down to meet that demand. If there's only one guy that's offering X amount,
naturally
that's where you're going to, fall down. So for us, it's not just about the business. It's about really creating points of view and making art accessible and creating spaces that allow for independent thinking. Of course, the business is very important to us, notwithstanding nobody, have to pay rent at the end of the day, and I can't be drinking Gary on water for the rest of my life. Although I love Gary.
Gary's fresh though.
Don't even mess it. Like we have a Gary colada at.
Are you a white or yellow Gary kind of person?
I am a yellow Gary kind of guy, man.
My kind of guy.
All day, every day. I'm from South now.
Don't leave me hanging.
From the South,
Yeah, I
man.
love that.
You draw boys now. We know how we do it now. So
Very interesting. Very interesting.
So
like looking at artists, like what's the conversation like when you find a new artist? Like, are you looking at younger artists? Are you looking at older artists? Is it like open?
It's open.
And are you looking at Nigerian artists? Because you talked about the continent. Are you looking at Nigerian artists?
No, we work. I'd probably say 60% of the artists that we work with are from Nigeria.
Okay, that's good.
And I think how I have conversations around sort of the kind of conversations we want to build. And that can come in from an emerging artist or an established artist. It doesn't really matter as long as I kind of like it. And I think that's the point at the end of the day. It's like every gallery has their own artistic vision.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. Not we can't all be the same in regards to what we like and what we don't like. So I'm really cool with the stuff that I like, and I hope that if I put it out there and somebody really fucks.
So you think your taste? You think you have good taste?
Am I allowed to swear on this thing?
Yeah. Go ahead. So are you saying you have good taste? Are you like bring yourself up?
I'm not saying. Everything is subjective, right? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, as they say.
For sure.
My dear, if you play with it, you play with it. If you don't, you don't. Now, there's 20 other galleries down the road, man. So hopefully you'll find something that you like. But as long as you find something you like in Lagos or in Nigeria, I'm down with it.
Cool. So there's NAHOUSe and there's Windsor. So can you tell us the difference? Because I imagine anyone looking at the house will be like, okay, the gallery is NAHOUSe, right?
Yeah, I mean, there is a gallery in NAHOUSe. The cool thing with sort of the gallery is that there are multiple sort of spaces that we have. I think at this moment in time we have nearly 6 galleries. We're building another 7 next year. So we're
in the Federal Palace?
No, just around Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you operate in 6 countries currently?
We operate in the Ivory Coast. We operate in Lagos, Abuja, and then we're now looking at next year we're opening in South Africa. So we're looking Cape Town, Johannesburg, our first European gallery, and then East Africa as well is going to be a key part of our rollout next year.
Cool.
So that's predominantly visual arts. So that's painting, photography. That's sort of at Windsor Gallery. So it's kind of focused to that specific field. And then NAHOUSe is really where a lot of fun happens because it's a multidisciplinary space. So it really factors in all the ideas.
Gastronomy.
Gastronomy, man. Yeah. You know how it is, man. Yeah. Welcome to the Gastro Club. Huh?
Yeah, that was so funny. That was funny.
Photography, design, fashion. So it kind of really has a conversation more about what African creativity looks like today. and sort of creating a space for independent thinking, space for people to come together and sort of...
There's only one NAHOUSe. Like,
there's only one NAHOUSe for the time being.
But then tell the people, like, how do you pronounce that word? NAHOUSe, like...
You can pronounce it any way you want, man.
Well, how do you pronounce it?
I pronounce it NAHOUSe.
Cool.
But you can call it NAHOUSe, so because it is a house. It's a house of culture.
I think that's the first thing.
NAHOUSe. It's a house of culture.
That's how I'm saying it.
You know,
NAHOUSe.
well, culture starts at home, right?
Yeah.
So the whole idea there is that we're taking our culture, referencing back, and that's the great thing to see right now. What's happening in Nigeria, man? We're not really playing with that. We're really, really taking our shit back, and everything. We're making it into our own. So it's an exciting time to be, as they say, alive. It's an exciting time to be in Nigeria, and it's an exciting time to be part of the cultural revolution that we're seeing here.
So in terms of your relationship with Nigeria and like Nigerian arts, how do you see the Nigerian art scene has received your gallery and like the work you're putting out?
I don't know where to start, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we people engage really well with the curatorial program that we have at Windsor Gallery. We've tried to be very, very different. We try and really sort of also...
This piece is really cool.
I think we try and really do things that are interesting from a curatorial point of view. Installation-wise, I think we do really cool stuff. We work with really interesting artists from all around the continent. So, we've exhibited sort of people from Benin, from Ivory Coast, from Senegal, from South Africa, Congo. So, we've had a breadth of emerging and sort of established artists come through the doors at Windsor Gallery. And then, I think the feedback has been good. I'm still open. So
Yeah,
I'm still open for business. So far so good, right?
Yeah.
And then NAHOUSe is I think the feedback has been really fresh. It's been good to see people engage with NAHOUSe in a way that I think they kind of like the brutalistic sort of architecture and the sort of contemporariness of the space whilst keeping it true to its original heritage. And then sort of, again, just the experience. I mean, NAHOUSe is for everybody. You don't have to have one specific point of interest to then just permeate. You can come in and be like, all right, cool, I'm interested in the fashion that NAHOUSe is presenting. And then, maybe one of the 7 brands that you kind of like enjoy. And then after that, you might go to the art gallery and you've never really gone to an art gallery. And then, might start getting more interested in it. So it allows for really a space of really sort of discovery and conversation, which is cool.
Well, in terms of the location, it's an amazing location, Federal Palace, right? Can you tell us the backstory? Because it's been a place that's been there for so many years. Like, why now? Like,
well, I mean, so the history of the building is really interesting. The building was commissioned in 1977 for Festac 2. So Festac 2 was the sort of the whole independent sort of cultural festival that Africa came up with post-independence. And so Festac 2, which was supposed to be the biggest edition at the time, was in Nigeria. And so the building was built to receive all the different heads of states during that sort of festival. And then it's gone through numerous ownership. Government owned it, and then it went into private sector, and then now it's owned by a Nigerian family. So the conversation went pretty straightforward because there was an opportunity. They saw the vision. I'm very, very privileged to be able to work with people that see the vision and see the understanding, and also have faith in building things that matter. Because people always look at building things for maybe monetary reasons or maybe status or maybe this, but they understood what it means to matter, to bring it back and to bring that sort of heritage back. It was a building that was created for culture. And so to allow NAHOUSe to be birthed and to be built and to be developed in a way, there's no interference. They trust the curatorial vision, they trust the sort of programming that we're trying to build and the conversations that we're trying to build. So I'm very, very privileged to be able to work with them on this specific project.
Cool. Where do you see the gallery like in 5 years, 10 years? Would you still be in the same space, or do you want to look at other spaces?
We'll look at other spaces. I'm a real big believer in we need more spaces. We need more spaces to create conversations. We need more spaces to create more art. We need more spaces to welcome the rest of the world to our country. So for me, that's always been the sort of the focus point. Whether if you give me a space of 1 square meter, I'll put art on it. So I think the conversation here is how far can we take it? How structured can we make the market so that there is consistency and people can properly live off, the work that they do, and people can enjoy it and sort of, again, get more people to enjoy art and be more expansive in their thinking. And I think that's what it is. Art expands your thinking. It allows you to think about what the possibilities are or what somebody else was thinking. So it moves us a little bit away from what we're thinking all the time. The question of what was the artist thinking or what was the point of view he was trying to do allows for expansive thinking. And I think that's where we need to play.
So, what do you think about the Nigerian collector? Because you talked about having a gallery in Abidjan, right? What's, simple question, what's the difference between a collector in Abidjan and a collector in Lagos, for instance? Do you see any different patterns, or do you think we're collecting the same across board?
No, we're collecting very differently. Nigerians, I think, from my experience, the sort of the top tier collectors, as we call them.
What's the top tier collector? Who is it?
No, I guess based on
price
value.
Point. Okay.
Yeah, based on value of investment, right? They're investing in more of the masters. Yeah. Sort of older generation of
tested and trusted,
the Glovers, the Grillos and stuff like that. I think, we in Abidjan we had more engagement with sort of emerging. I think they buy it more for themselves.
Was the conversation I like this art, this looks interesting, or just someone in Abidjan buying art for the reason other than investment?
No, they buy it more because they like it. Yeah. I think when you go to see and we're seeing a massive revolution across the board anyway, even in Nigeria in regards to how we curate our spaces. We think post COVID, we were all stuck here for one way or the other, right? So instead of taking our money and going to London and buying apartments with interior designers that were already, ready to just move in, we're now bringing that aesthetic here. We're now spending more time on the continent. We're now building out spaces that are reflective to what we're seeing internationally. And so people are now buying more art and dressing their space in a more contemporary way. But I think we still need to, in Nigeria, buy more emerging artists. We need to sort of play around that. We need to actually build collections that are not just based on status and buy and start actually building the market with investing in sort of the younger, more contemporary sort of artists. Anyway, that's a point of view. Everybody has their own aesthetic.
No, for
Nothing's
sure.
wrong.
But for sure. Of that, what I'm thinking about, because most people that watch this podcast are younger, right? And people already have this idea that
artists for rich people,
like you said,
rich people,
right? So how do you talk to them in terms of telling them yo, artists for everyone, and there's a price point where?
Well, look, artists for everyone, and I think we're going to see a sort of even a shift in regards to how art is consumed.
What do you mean?
So it's not just paintings. There's going to be prints. Print works, which are limited edition series, and you can play. That's going to be more affordable. So there's different ways to, and art is such a broad word, right? Yeah. So there's so many different things that we can call art. You could go to an arts and craft village, and if you find something that's really cool, I have a friend of mine who, she's an artist. She goes to arts and craft village. She sees things. She'll buy a stool, and then she'll paint it the way she wants to paint it, and she'll create her own aesthetic identity to that piece, and then she'll sell it. Yeah. So there's so many different ways, and sometimes you can sell it. Art is whatever price you want to put.
But what would you say you're doing to bridge that gap? So, in terms of, you spoke about prints. Do you guys sell prints?
We're developing that. So, again, we have a number of different spaces. And so in Ivory Coast, there's a space that we had called Futura, which is a space for real emerging artists straight out of university who are looking to build their career, right?
So an open space where they can just...
Yeah, they just come and exhibit. We select we select the 8 different artists, and we give them a 1-year residency. We then build a structure around that to then give them sort of exhibition dates so that they start understanding the routine. That's Abidjan because it's
Abidjan artists, right?
Yeah, exactly. These are ones that come out of the School of the Beaux-Arts. The School of Arts in the Ivory Coast.
Cool.
We're looking to develop that program here as well.
That'd be nice.
That'd be cool.
So again, connecting, and those pieces were not very expensive. But then they're getting a lot of people to engage with them, understand their work, and then also they're starting to understand the business of art. It's not just because you wake up in the morning and you decide to draw whatever that makes you an artist. It's again how you build that conversation.
It's a business.
And then how you build your conversation up. Yeah. A lot of people paint for whatever reason, but the moment that you now bring it out into the open, you have to. It has to be worth the conversation.
Yeah.
And that conversation could be something you're dealing with, or you want something else to But I think the idea of what good art is that it creates conversation. If we think about, well, the Mona Lisa, for the last 500-600 years, people have been asking if it's a boy or girl. You know, and I think that's a conversation. That's what art should be. It should be conversation.
Like push the conversation, like make you think. Like, yeah, that's so interesting.
You know, so I think that's kind of like where, you know, especially in Nigeria, I think we've, you know, how we're taught to paint and how we're taught to sort of look at the art world. A lot of what we see today coming out of Nigeria is portraiture. You know, and I think that's something that we need to sort of break and sort of look at other ways of expanding sort of what art is and the possibilities. You know, you have some phenomenal artists now playing into the multidisciplinary realm or mixed media realm, like Nola Yola. She's playing with fabric and texture and canvas. You know, these kind of things we're now seeing people really move into this sort of multidisciplinary realm and sort of even mixed media as that point of view. So it's cool now. And I think people are now having the confidence to really experiment.
So you spoke about Nola, right? Do you have any, apart, like, are there any other young artists you're looking at? Or?
I mean, there's a whole bunch of artists, different points of view. I mean, Musa Gainey is my guy.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
colorful. I like his
Moose is real fire.
It's good.
You know, we're seeing a lot of cool different sort of points of view. Addy's coming into the place, Addy Mack.
Yeah.
You know, with his street art and graffiti.
He's cool.
He's very fucking.
He had the t-shirts as well.
At Sea Experience, so go cop it.
Shameless plug. I love that.
That is my guy, man. So,
I thought you said, please, can we crop it?
No, go cop it.
No, I'm telling you, I'm going to crop it.
Yeah, okay. No, it's fine. It's okay.
I'm kidding you.
It's okay. I won't take it personally. It's not even my t-shirt.
No, we won't. I'm joking.
No, we won't.
Nah, it is cool. Like, we know it's cool.
Yeah. So there's cool people doing some cool stuff. And I think there's more spaces. I mean, even just this Christmas period, there's 2 or 3 new galleries have just opened.
Which,
you know, Dada Gallery just opened.
Yes,
it looks like she's going to be doing,
yeah.
You know, it looks like she's going to be doing great stuff. Nura as well. I mean, more people in the space, the better. I'm really for it. There's no such thing as
too many, man.
Yeah. Like, let's
and everybody brings a different perspective.
Everything is it's about that. It's about ownership. You know, and as we were discussing that earlier, ownership. If we can keep more spaces coming alive, we have more people involved in the space, create more. You know, now people can actively, don't forget, 5-6 years ago, you couldn't walk around Lagos and look at 2-3 galleries.
Yeah.
Now you can spend a whole day going to galleries and exhibitions and shows, and they're all of the highest level.
Of course.
What, you know, what Obida's doing at Oda, what Ugana's doing at Yenwa, all these guys, man, they're all killing the game.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm really, really, really proud to be part of like that whole community and really be able to sort of champion with collectively. I think we as a collective force, that's how we win.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just what I'm doing in my own sort of space. I'm doing what I can in my own space, but I think what everyone else is doing is all amplifying and adding value. Think about it, this year, we were present at all the top international fairs. Not at the same time, but independently. You know, whether it's 154, whether it's, you know, Art Basel, whether it's, everybody was doing their thing to push the Nigerian narrative forward, the African narrative forward, and I think that's fire.
This would be like so I'm asking 2 questions. Do you think the Nigerian market is ready for art? And do you think international collectors are also looking at Nigerian arts?
Yeah, I think. I mean, you know, as I said, I think the emerging market. I mean, the last couple of years have been difficult for the art space. But I think the market is becoming more robust. People are now having more confidence in sort of expanding their as a collector and their collections into different sort of other areas that are not just the masters, but we're still seeing a lot of people just focus on that.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of amazing things happening in Nigeria right now that are making the international world stand up and sit. You know, think about Artex. It's 10th year this year.
Yeah.
And you know, they've done immense work to reposition Lagos as a cultural capital.
Yeah.
You know, so that Tokini's work has, 10 years has shown, we're all benefactors of it. You know, so these are the kind of things that I think that we're now seeing. And I think, the world has to stand up. Any international collector, more artists. I was speaking to Duke Asidere the other day, who was one of our masters. Yeah. And Uncle Duke was like, I'm not going anywhere. If you want to come and buy my arts, come to Lagos.
It's cool.
Yeah. And that's what we want. We want more guys to be able to say, okay, New York, what happened? No, it's all right, man. Let's keep it in Lagos. You want to see my art? You want to engage with me?
Come here, man.
Come here. I'm not gonna go and suffer in the cold anymore.
Yeah.
So we're at home. We'll drop Agbono, chill, drink hop, chill, eat granuts, chill, and then keep it moving, man. What more do you want? Is that not the best way to engage with the work that you do and the people that you care about being at home? And so let's keep things at home.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with you on that. Definitely agree with you.
So in terms of like the next year, what for Lagos? What's like the route? Like, how many shows do you do?
Normally we do about 10 shows a year in each phase,
Okay.
but I'm going to be slowing it down a little bit. I think because there's more spaces coming in, there's more options, and I think it's good to allow the space to breathe as well. It gives more time for us to show a show. Our traditional sort of rotation was about 4 weeks. So 4 weeks with a week break, and then you're now putting a new show up the week after. But I think this year, I think everything's fine. Now, there's so many more spaces, man. So let's just slow it down a little bit. Let's give more time to engage with the work. Before you were trying to get as many pieces up and down as possible and trying to get artists the opportunity to be visible.
Of course.
But I think there's so many spaces now, and we've got more spaces coming on stream. So we can afford to slow it down and just get people to actually engage with the work longer. And then get and have more respite a little bit, because the last couple of years as we're building have been a very, very high tempo and high rhythm. So it'd be nice now to just be a bit more sort of grounded in regards to the spaces that we have. NAHOUSe takes a lot of time.
I can imagine
to do that, and we're looking at developing other projects parallelly with the federal government, Lagos State. I mean, I was just driving up here to Lekki from VI. I don't know if you've seen the mural installation that they're doing on the roadside.
where.
So it's this beautiful mural on Ozumba. They've got all these white boxes on the wall there, and they've got literally, if you drive back down now, you'll see all these guys painting amazing murals, and again re-beautifying the city through art. It's a really, really powerful initiative, and I think it's going to give the city its own identity. And I think this is what I've always advocated for, getting art to beautify the city. And if you go to New York, Tokyo, Berlin, you see graffiti art, you see artists. Who's the most famous artist in the world? Is another street graffiti artist?
Yeah,
Banksy. So these things. I think now we're starting to understand the power of culture and utilizing it in the right way. And I think that's a great, great thing to witness. Yeah.
In terms of like Lagos, are you doing any projects with them, or just speaking generally?
No, just speaking. I mean, there are a number of projects that I'm not in a position to disclose yet, but everybody will see soon.
Okay.
But there is some really cool stuff that we're bringing to the space, everything across. I mean, it's not just in the art space, but it's also in the fashion space. It's also in the hospitality space. We're really trying to make sure that across all the different projects, the main focus is offering. What are we offering the market, and how we helping structure the market that we can actually benefit from. If you think about sort of today how the landscape is built, there's so many things happening in different districts, Lekki, VI, Ikoyi, and even further than Lagos, the rest of Nigeria. So like the point is to try and really sort of build out conversations in secondary, tertiary cities that we're now seeing, and bringing these back onto the stream. Kano, Port Harcourt, these are conversations worth having today. Benin City, we saw what happened with MOA, and what an insane project, and how amazing that is going to be for Nigeria. So these are the kind of things that we want to get involved with. These are the kind of things that we want to spearhead and champion in our own way. But keep building.
So how are you finding like new collectors, like new people to get into there? Like how do you push?
I mean, I think the only way you can do is network, try and build sort of interest in what you're doing. Hopefully, if people engage with the work, the best form of marketing is word of mouth, and I still really, really believe that. Like if someone speaks highly about a show that they saw or a space that they've seen, there's nothing better than that. Then I can pay Instagram how much money you want to get visibility and likes and stuff like that, but to what end? I'd rather, especially in this space where it's very nuanced and it's very based on opinions. It's important to be able to captivate that and to allow for people to advocate for your work.
Of course. So I think we can speak on the piece of the day. But before we get there, who's this artist? How do you meet him? And why do you collect his work?
So Didier Viaudet, he is a visual artist, lives in France, but is half Ivorian, half from Benin.
This is actually one of your works or something?
No, this is actually hung in my house.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so I met him at the Dakar Biennale, and he had this amazing, like really interesting way of presenting works where he unframed, unstretched, just pieces of his work just stuck on the wall. And I just loved like the simplicity of it. It was just like, okay, cool, wait. So art it can go further than just a framed piece of work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, we started talking, and I hadn't opened my first gallery at the time.
So what year was this?
This was 2022, I think.
Wait, so what year did you open your first gallery?
2023.
Wow.
So it's been quite a lot, quite quickly. And so yeah, we were kind of having a conversation, and I was like, I explained to him like all my plans and everything else, and he was just like, I don't understand. Well, wait, how many galleries are you trying to open? And yeah, we kind of after the sort of the show, we kind of kept in contact. We met in Paris a couple of months later, and I told him that I was about to open the first gallery, and we just struck a great friendship from there. Like he actually had a piece of work that he was looking at developing. And I think he sort of referenced this idea in French, which is l'homme qui a pas peur, the man who's not afraid. Because he's like, you're trying to do all these things, and you're not afraid.
You speak French?
I do, yeah.
You said it well. I was like, I can't say it like that for sure.
It's all right, don't worry. It does incentives. It does incentive. I thought that was a free trip to Paris. I start speaking French perfectly. And then he then came to exhibit with us. He did a 1-month residency here in Lagos.
When was that?
Which was amazing. He just spent a month because the way his...
What year was this?
This was in 2024.
Okay.
And yeah, he did a really beautiful 1-month residency here. And got to learn about Lagos. He'd never been to Lagos, and he's been here 3 times ever since, which is really cool. So he's really taken Lagos in as something that he really enjoys. He loves the energy and the vibrancy of the city. And then yeah, this was a gift from him. Actually, this was part of his collection, which is exhibited in the museum in Cotonou.
Okay.
It's a project on migration, which he had done, which has received sort of critical international acclaim.
Francophone countries seem to actually take art very seriously.
Institutionally, yeah. The institutional structures that they kind of build out are a bit more sort of present. But let's not get it twisted. The work that the Ministry of Culture in Nigeria are doing and have done, Hannatu and her team and Faiz and everybody else, and all the DGs, Tola and everybody else, they've been kicking ass. With limited resources. I have to applaud what they've been doing.
I saw they sponsored some of the art.
They just took 6 galleries to Abu Dhabi.
That was actually so cool, man.
Look, they are doing the work. And so you got to give. It's very easy. I think over 30, 40 years of disappointment in government, when our automatic reflex is to criticize. It's not always like that. Some of our guys are doing the work.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're still here. If it was really, politically, I don't want to even get involved, but if it was really that bad, we would have crashed as a country. So one way or the other, someone is doing some work somewhere.
Yeah.
Because if it was all going tits up, we wouldn't be sitting here where we are. We're lucky that we're entrepreneurial people. We have the foresight and the fortitude to survive anything in Nigeria, and I think that's what sets us apart from everybody else.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time, there are people that are invested in the development and the benefit of this country, and people that are proud to serve the nation under a ministerial capacity or in any capacity, whether in the armed forces or whether in sort of public office. So people are doing the work, and
what you're doing with the art space is actually commendable. Like putting like lights on Nigerian arts, African arts. I think it's quite cool.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we can only do what we can, but I think at the end of the day, we want it for a better future. We want it for a better tomorrow. And, like seeing you guys do this crazy, this podcast and see how you guys are invested in the light that you're shining to the next generation, the people that are sort of subscribing and watching to the show is we're all doing something. We're all part of the building blocks. You know, a house is not built on one block alone, right?
Of course.
We're all adding to it, and I promise you guys, like over the next 5 years, we're going to see something crazy happen.
I imagine. So speaking of that, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In the village. In the
Doing
village.
what?
I'll go back to Bielsa now. I'll go and just sit in the village and just be looking at the water.
Okay.
No, 5 years. 5 years, we're still building. We're still going to be building, and we're hoping that, you know, we've set the foundation to be able to build higher.
Of course.
You know, if you think about like how high can we go, only God will say. But there is ambitions to go as far as we can. Let's try and touch the skies if we can, and we're given the opportunity. So trust me, we're going to be building for 5 years, more.
Cool. So like I think my brother mentioned this earlier, but like a majority of our listeners or like people that watch the videos and like in their 20s or early 30s, how would you encourage them to lean into art? Because I mean, at that point in your life, you're probably just starting off trying to find yourself, and a lot of them feel like art isn't for them or isn't positioned. It's positioned for rich people. Like, what would you say? How do you?
Everything is positioned based on your budget now.
Of course, of course.
So if you're rich, your budget is bigger.
But
But art is free.
Of course.
Going to a gallery show is free. Taking a photo is free. Speaking to an artist is free. How you want to now build on that based on your financial reality, your disposable income. If you want to spend more money. If you're asking me if I had 100K Naira today and I could go to Lekki Arts Market and find something that's unique to my point of view and spend 100K on that, or go to Adidas and buy another pair of sneakers, I'll go to Lekki Art Market. You can start with 50K, you can start with 10K, you can start
We
with...
always tell people that people are like, nah, it's not true. But
Well,
like, bro,
why?
bro, you can like unleash like the example you
We
gave.
did a show. So recently, one of our artists passed away.
Oh, sorry about this.
Yeah. And so we did a really we wanted to support the family. And so we did the show in memoriam of him because, of course, you know.
What's his name?
Latif.
Okay.
We spoke to the family and we wanted to raise money for the family because, of course, now he's not there as a primary breadwinner. There's also, can you imagine the journey it must take and the strength it must take to support an artist through his evolution and his career and his practice? So it's not as easy as making money every day. Sometimes there's no returns on the work that you do, right?
Of course, yeah.
And so we had pieces from his lifespan, all priced at so many different ranges because the ultimate thing was to let his art live and also support the family. So, you know, these things, there's so many opportunities. At the end of the day, I remember when I was before I knew that I was intentional about building my collection, I used to go to the market and buy stuff that I liked. And it ranged from $10 to $100 to $200 or whatever I could afford at the time. So you can start when you decide to start. If you like something, buy it, put it on your wall. You're a collector. You've collected a piece, finished. It's not that complicated. Yeah. Now you tell me you want to go now buying Picasso.
Then you know
but you're 20 years old, my guy. Let's reassess certain sort of life choices, man. Like me myself, I want private jets. It doesn't mean I'm still entering. I'm still entering a piece now. So as long as I'm getting from A to B, man, that's the only thing that matters at this point. When I get to private jet money, you see private jets.
I agree. I think this has been a great episode. Thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Bye.
Peace.
Peace. Au revoir.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.